It would be a dereliction of duty if Arsene Wenger has not spent the past few days coming up with a way to stop Liverpool's fearsome attack from running riot at the Emirates Stadium on Friday night. Arsenal's manager cannot say that he has not been warned. He knows how much his team has suffered against these opponents since Jurgen Klopp's arrival on Merseyside in October 2015, and nobody could say it was a surprise when Liverpool hammered Arsenal 40 at Anfield in August, with Roberto Firmino, Sadio Mane, and Mohamed Salah inspired and Philippe Coutinho not even involved. It was, to be brutally honest, an entirely predictable result given that, under Klopp, Liverpool have won 3 times and drawn once with Wenger's side, scoring 14 in the process. There is proof that their attacking formula is capable of ripping Arsenal to shreds, so it is up to Wenger to change. Arsenal, who were caught on the counter-attack by United 3 weeks ago, have to find the right balance. Playing with carefree abandon against this Liverpool side could have dire consequences. JS Jonathan Wilson. Wenger's efforts to counter-confuse Arsenal long stay at Liverpool would need all-party support, says Klopp. Pardew's first win could spell end for Hughes at Stoke. Mark Hughes' job may be in jeopardy, but he is unlikely to give a start this weekend to Saido Berahino, the striker he spent many months pursuing before eventually prizing him from West Brom for £12 million. That alludes to just one of the reasons for which Stoke are in danger of relegation. When a club spends as sparingly as Stoke have in recent seasons, they need all their major signings to be successful and can ill afford flops such as Berahino, Ajanelli and Bula, nor even last season's loan failure of Wilfried Bony or the unpromising start made to this campaign by Kevin Wimmer. Nor can they afford to leave parts of their team looking as scantily covered as, say, they do at right back or central midfield. Stoke know they have holes to fill during the January transfer window, but Hughes may not be given the chance to plug away if Alan Pardew finds a way to get West Brom scoring on Saturday. PD Hughes faces sack if Stoke City lose at home to West Brom. 3 City's winning habit makes Premier League look bad. Manchester City are making a mockery of the Premier League. At some point soon, but definitely not before their January meetings with Burnley and Liverpool, we may have to find ourselves asking not whether they can go the whole season unbeaten, but whether anyone else can even hold them to a draw. Bournemouth nearly did so back in August, when they were denied only by a stoppage-time winner by Raheem Sterling. Eddie Howe's side are weak in central midfield, in particular, and although they gave decent accounts of themselves at Old Trafford and Stamford Bridge in recent weeks, it seems highly unlikely they will be solid enough to shut out City this time. Their slim hopes of victory will wither to close to nothing if Joshua King is not fit enough to feature. PD Guardiola identifies Sanchez and Van Dijk as City's targets. City reach agreement to sign Medina from Libertad. The Bournemouth players react after Raheem Sterling's 97th-minute winner in August. Photograph Mark Kurt in action plus via Getty Images. For long in for the short haul, Burnley entertained Tottenham knowing a win would extend the gap between the two sides to 4 points, and with 2 of their 3 subsequent Premier League matches coming against Manchester United and Liverpool, Sean Dyche's team have a real chance to cement their top 6 credentials or begin the slide down the table many suspect is inevitable. Burnley have already shown admirable resilience in their ability to withstand the absence of key players Tom Heaton, Robbie Brady, Matt Lowton and Jonathan Walters, and now will have to prepare for 3 games without James Tarkowski. The centre-half has been ever-present in the league this season but has been retrospectively banned for swinging an elbow at Brighton's Glenn Murray last weekend. When Tarkowski's usual central defensive partner Ben Mee was unavailable for 2 matches against Watford and Stoke, Kevin Long proved a more than able deputy, helping his side keep a pair of clean sheets. The Republic of Ireland international is likely to face sterner tests alongside Mee over the festive period as Burnley strive to maintain the lofty league status, and it will be intriguing to see how he gets on. BG Wanyama expected to return for Tottenham during festive period. Paulinho, everyone said bar his career is over. Now Imad Barker 5, who will be grounded by Mourinho this time. An evening kick-off on the last Saturday before Christmas. The atmosphere will be exceptionally merry, hopefully, when Leicester host Manchester United. And Jose Mourinho will demand that his players show far more bottle than they did during their sorry defeat at Bristol City. The manager's team selection may give some indication of which players he had in mind when he said some of them lacked motivation against the Championship side. Paul Pogba is probably above being dropped despite his drab performance, apart from that picturesque fall for the free kick that led to United's goal, of course, but Anthony Martial and Marcus Rashford might be set for spells on the naughty step, while Marcos Rojo did nothing to earn a starting spot ahead of Chris Smalling or Phil Jones. As for Leicester, they will likely deploy the lineup that Claude Puel should have named for Tuesday's Carabao Cup match against Manchester City's second-string PD. Manchester United fan jailed for racial assault on City's Sterling FA to take no action over Manchester derby tunnel clash. Manchester United will keep fighting for Premier League title, says Mourinho. Video 6 Allardyce and the Everton revival. Despite their team's resurgence under Sam Allardyce and recent ascent to the giddy heights of ninth, Everton fans remain understandably underwhelmed by the appointment of a man who claimed to be in semi-retirement and whose contract details, specifically its length, have never entered the public domain. Under Allardyce, Everton have yet to beat anyone in the top half and just about got away with their hoof-it-and-hope tactics against Liverpool in the Merseyside derby. Victory against Chelsea at home is just the kind of match that would prompt Allardyce to play a long Christmas solo on his own trumpet, and winning in the ugliest manner imaginable would represent a perfectly satisfactory state of affairs for supporters who haven't exactly been spoiled with exhibitions of total football in recent decades. A team once renowned for their dogs of war ethos could very well give Chelsea a black eye, but one can't help but feel that no matter what Allardyce achieves this season, he will never be fully welcomed by supporters of a club who were hoping for so much better just 4 months ago. BG Paul Wilson. Surely it is time to cut a resurgent Rooney some slack. 7 Surely no repeat of a 9-goal thriller. Swansea City and Crystal Palace served up one of the balmiest matches in recent memory when they met at the Liberty Stadium last season. Palace led 43 with 6 minutes left, only for Fernando Llorent's stoppage-time double to give Swansea the first of their 2 wins under Bob Bradley. A repeat of that craziness seems unlikely, though. Swansea have been blunt under the now-departed Paul Clement, managing 10 goals in 18 games, and they will be bottom at Christmas unless they beat Roy Hodgson's side. Palace's away record, meanwhile, does not inspire much confidence, until, that is, one factors in them scoring their first away goals of the season against Leicester last weekend. Christian Benteke ended his drought in a 30 win that lifted Palace out of the bottom 3 and, having lost to Swansea at Selhurst Park in August, this is a fine opportunity for them to showcase their improvement since Hodgson took over from Frank de Boer. J.S. Stewart. James, how have Swansea City gone from a model club to a mess? Palace await on punch and verdict before deciding on punishment. Can Christian Benteke kick on after ending his goal drought at Leicester? Photograph Jan Kruger. Getty Images. 8 more sting from the Hornets. Questioned about his side's lack of discipline after Troy Deeney became the 3rd Watford player in as many matches to get sent off last weekend. Marco Silva insisted lack of control was not a problem for his players, while conveying the faintly ludicrous impression that it is referees who are to blame for his side's inability to keep 11 men on the field. The one red card out of the 4 shown to his players in the league this season that Silva had no grumbles about was brandished at Miguel Britos for a flying 2-footed tackle on Brighton's Anthony Knockaert, arguably one of the wildest challenges seen in recent memory. This weekend the teams go toe-to-toe again, with Brighton looking for their first win in 8 and Watford their first in 5. While Knockaert was lucky to escape unharmed from Britos' moment of madness, those of us eager to see if Brighton's players remember what the Watford fullback did to their teammate could be disappointed. The Uruguayan remains a doubt as he continues to recover from a foot injury. Should he return against Brighton, the disciplinary mettle of both sides could be tested to the limit. BG Interactive quiz. Football stadiums then and now. The 5 Christmas Awards 2017. 9 imbalance for Moyes. Still a West Ham worry if they were safely ensconced in mid-table. Criticism of West Ham's failure to muster a worthwhile shot on goal in their EFL Cup quarter-final defeat at Arsenal on Tuesday would have been justifiable. David Moyes made changes for the trip to the Emirates, resting Adrian and Mikel Antonio and naming Marco Arnautovic on the bench, and his team never looked like scoring. Yet the meekness of West Ham's performance underlined the imbalance in Moyes' squad. The manager lacks fit central midfielders and wide players and, after a draining run of league fixtures, he was probably right to rotate before the rather more important task of hosting Newcastle on Saturday. West Ham are out of the bottom 3 after picking up 7 points from 3 matches, and another victory will take them 5 points clear of 18th place Newcastle, winless in 9 games. But they are not out of the woods yet and will have to find a way to cope without invention of the suspended Manuel Lanzini. Moyes does not have a replacement for the Argentinian, whose retrospective ban for diving is a big blow. JS West Ham identify Swansea defender Mawson as key target. Newcastle's struggles are to be expected, says Bennett's 10 St Mary's meeting could spark decisive runs, having ended an away goal drought stretching back 8 games in all competitions in fine style against Watford. Huddersfield travel to play a Southampton side that has kept only 2 clean sheets at home in the Premier League in 10 attempts, with matches against Stoke, Burnley, Leicester, West Ham and Stoke again to follow. This encounter marks the beginning of a relatively benign month of fixtures in which Huddersfield could conceivably go a long way towards securing their Premier League status. Just taking half of the 18 points on offer before they entertain Liverpool on the 30th of January would leave them 9 short of the magic 40-point mark and represent an incredible achievement for a team written off by many as relegation fodder before a ball had been kicked. With just 2 wins in their last 13, against Everton and West Brom, sides that have since changed managers, Saints increasingly look destined for a relegation battle and need to stop the rot against the team directly above them. A potential humdinger. This is a big game for both sides. BG Football Weekly Extra. Bristol City in dreamland and Swansea in a spin. Shinji Okazaki slots the ball past Fraser Forster for the first of his 2 goals in Leicester's 41 win at Southampton. Photograph Dynasty 10. Getty Images.